Hello and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are new. And yeah, welcome back to the Premier League countdown, everyone. At GVO Mikes on all platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok if you want to follow me. And yeah, we're trying to hit 500 before the end of the year. So if you can make that happen, that'll be great. And yeah, thank you for the support. As of recently, you guys have been enjoying the Premier League countdown series. Yeah, we're talking about Ipswich today. This is the first promoted team that we're talking about in this series so far. And it's been a very, very long time since Ipswich last made the Premier League. I don't actually know the exact date of when they made it. But if we look at them now, they have really been above expectations in the past 2 years. Now, they got promoted from League One to the Championship like literally a season ago. And now they did it with back-to-back promotions. And not just promotions, automatically as well. There was a point where people thought Ipswich were going to fall off. And I'm sure Ipswich fans maybe thought, okay, this might be our time that we might fall off. And Southampton and Leeds were creeping up. However, they held their own. A lot of the top four in the Championship were very inconsistent at the time. And all four of them actually played very enjoyable stuff as well. Leeds were obviously the team to miss out after losing the playoff final, but Ipswich managed to make it automatically after finishing second place. Now, obviously, we can't really go off online fan bases because every online fan base is shit. But a lot of the online fan base is quite confident. I think it's mainly just to stir shit up as well. But I generally think that they can survive relegation. Now, I think it's going to be a similar story to Brentford. I also think that their football is like people doing a lazy comparison to Burnley. And yes, I was the same person that said Burnley would survive last season, so I could be wrong again. Don't get me wrong, but to be honest with you, I think this style of football is way less risk averse than Vincent Company's style of football at Burnley. But also with the profile players that they have now, I believe the signings of Jacob Greaves, someone I've rated for the past year now, wanted him at West Ham alongside Max Keelman. Good signing of Amari Hutchinson, confirming obviously he was there on loan last season, but he'll do well for them in the Premier League. He deserves some first team football in the Premier League. Obviously Ben Johnson, they signed Ben Johnson on a free as well. I'm not going to say that's a great signing, but that's no offense to Ipswich fans. I would say that's battling relegation is Ben Johnson's level. And I actually think if you're an Ipswich fan watching this, I do think that there's going to come to a point where you'll just stick with Harry Clark over Ben Johnson at some point in the season. And there's going to be a point where Ben Johnson's on the bench for you guys. That's just my opinion, though. But maybe, as I said before, maybe Kieran McKenna can get more out of him than we saw at West Ham because obviously you've got moist tax things when you're at West Ham. But also with the signing of Liam Delap up front, that one's got a big question mark on it, in my opinion. The reason why it's got a big question mark on it is because I don't know whether he could do it in the Prem. Now, I know Southampton were interested as well, and I don't think it would have solved any issue to do with Southampton striking problems. Obviously, Southampton we'll talk about another time. But I do believe Ipswich will survive relegation. I do. I believe they've made smart signings as well. They made very smart signings. They've already got players that are going to make the step up as well. Now, the reason why this is such a lazy comparison to compare it to the Burnley situation as well, because let me tell you the mistake Burnley did as well, guys. The mistake Burnley did was they nearly changed their whole starting 11 from when they made it to the Championship. And what they should have done was make signings but make tweaks within their game. So the likes of Muric, the likes of Josh Cullen were getting benched. The likes of Brownhill were not really participating as much. The likes of Benson that should have been starting for Burnley. They signed about 20 wingers. Excuse me. They pretty much changed their whole starting 11 and left out some of the regulars. Now, speaking of Muric has also signed for Ipswich. Now, he did make a couple mistakes, don't get me wrong, when he came in for James Trafford eventually, but I believe Muric would have gave Burnley more of a chance of staying up than Trafford did. Now, I don't think Muric will take as long on the ball as well, because as much as it is possession-based football, there's a bit of directness within Ipswich's game. They can obviously switch between a 3 and a 4 if they really want to as well. They play some beautiful stuff. But it's also, they don't waste passes and they don't pass short and long for the sake of it. So they can switch it up if they want to. They could go direct and they can pass short, draw teams in and play through the press. There will be times where they give away the ball. It's the Premier League. there will be times where they give away the ball and it goes on a turnover and they do concede a goal. But let me tell you the difference with Ipswich. Ipswich are going to keep some of their players that kept them with them in the Championship. Now, obviously, Connor Chaplin, I'm pretty sure, is still there. Wes Burns is a good player. Harry Clark is a good player. Leif Davis is one to watch for me. If you're talking about one to watch players out of Ipswich's team, Leif Davis is the one that I feel like that can make the real step up. Someone who I would have wanted at West Ham United as well. And obviously, Ipswich fans, you'll be familiar with Aaron Cresswell already, but I would have loved to let Aaron Cresswell go by now. Maybe he could have, had a good return to Ipswich. I don't know. But he's also washed by now. But Leif Davis would have been someone that I would have liked at West Ham as well. I'm a big fan of Championship talent. I think Ipswich should still maybe try and get one or two more done if they can. I don't know what their budget is saying. I don't know what their FFP situation is saying. But I believe they need to get one or two more done. I think Jacob Greaves is a very smart signing because what they failed to do was sign defenders that can actually defend and play on the ball at the same time. That's exactly what Jacob Greaves can do as well. Now, yes, he is also making a step up from the Championship to the Premier League. However, I believe he's one of the few that can actually do it. Now, Championship talent is very underrated. You're about to see a lot of players shine for Ipswich that you wouldn't have expected to. I believe Amari Hutchinson will make the step up really well. Connor Chaplin has been a wonder kid for a while. Like his name has made waves for quite a while. I believe he's ready as well. And overall with their manager as well. Obviously, he was linked with Chelsea and Manchester United. A return to Manchester United, but this time as a first team coach. Obviously, Ten Hag stayed, and Enzo Maresca ended up going from Leicester to Chelsea instead. Another thing that we'll probably see the eventual relegation of Leicester City, which we'll talk about probably tomorrow. But when it comes to Ipswich, they have all the right tools by just keeping their manager as well. It's good that their manager stayed. The manager did need to make a step up. And it's way too early. The guy was in League One a couple of seasons ago. Just you stay at Ipswich for a bit and let yourself build something there. Don't make the step up too early. He's a young manager. He's got a long career ahead of him. Obviously, he's worked at Tottenham and Manchester United before, but just needs to chill out a bit. And that's what he's done. He made the right career move. Made the right career move by staying with Ipswich, and I believe they will be in the relegation battle, but they will survive. I think people are going to be surprised. A lot of people are going to write them off. Probably put them like 19th or something, but I won't put them there. You'll see my predictions next week. But yeah, I'm quite happy in terms of as a neutral perspective of what Ipswich are doing. I'd like them because I'd like them to stay up as well. I'd like to have someone different in the Premier League. So I would like them to stay up. I'd like them to get a couple more signings done just for their sake, and maybe one attacker, maybe one defender. Other than that, though, I think they're good to go. A lot of these players can make the step up already, as I've already said. So they would, and it's not like McKenna is one of the managers where he's very stubborn in his ways and he's going to play one way throughout the whole season. He's not. He's going to switch it up due to the opponent at times as well. He's going to have to as well. You need a slight bit of pragmatism as you go into the Premier League if you're getting promoted with a team, especially that aren't expected to be up there. But I don't believe in this whole top 10 nonsense that some fans are saying online, but definitely survive a relegation. And that would be an amazing season for them, just for their standards. And they could build on something for the future. And they've got a nice stadium as well. I've been to their stadium in pre-season. I had a bad trip back home, but that's for another time. But they're going to make it hard for people to come to Portman Road and try and get a result as well. Their home record is very important. It's not going to be like Turf Moor last season. It's going to be a bit more like how going to Brentford or even going to Luton last season for a bit. But mainly like when you go to the Brentford Stadium and you're like, it's going to be hard to get a result here. So we will see. We will see. But make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. And email for the inquiries. If you're Ipswich fan, West Ham fan, it doesn't matter who you are. Make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 500 before the